Good morning, Ed.
Good morning.
How are
Nice to see you? I'm doing great. I'm just glad to be here.
Well, I'm glad to have you with us.
Thank
Welcome
you.
to the BCN. It's going to be a great meeting.
I can tell.
There we go. And let's see, we've got Al. So remember, you guys, you have to unmute as well. You know what I mean? Okay, so Fred, we're waiting on Jeff and Roderick.
Hi, Edward. It's Fred Broder, and welcome.
Hey, nice to put a name with a face.
Yeah, well, the name looks better than the face, but any event, just want to send a warm welcome to membership in the BCN. And I read all the emails related to your joining, and I'm very excited that someone in your profession is a member.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Good morning.
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 Good morning. Okay. So let me do a, hold on. There we go. All right. David, it's so nice to see you. Ed, Amy, Cassandra, Michael, Jay, Caesar. Okay. So
good to be seen, Deborah.
I was waiting for that.
It's nice to see you.
I was waiting for that. We actually have about 57 people that are joining us today. So let's see. Nice. Yeah, I'm very excited about it.
As we trickle in.
Yes, and I am going to let my team here, Fred and Jeff and Roderick as co-hosts, Roderick to let everybody in so I can focus on, there's Juanita.
Hi, how are you?
Sending a hug and a kiss.
Absolutely.
Actually, a hug and a kiss to everybody. I am not single-minded at all. So I'll probably get COVID if I kiss everybody, but
even
good
virtually.
Morning, Naomi. Good morning, Bronson. Okay, so I'm gonna go back here. There we go. And I'm gonna go here. All right, let's do a view. Admits. Okay, Roderick, are you there, my friend?
I am. I'm here.
Okay, so I'll let you, we're going to start in 1 minute, and I'm going to let you welcome everybody, admit everybody else. I've touched everybody already that I saw.
Just a co-host. I have to be the co-host.
Yeah, I did that already. You got it?
It took me off.
It took you off?
As co-host, yeah. No, co-host no longer.
Uh-oh. Let's see. Maybe I'm too quick on the draw here. Hold on. Let's see, Roderick. There you are. So I've got you on more. There we go. Make co-host. All right, there we go. Gotcha.
Thanks.
All right, thank you. All right, let's go back. Let's see. Oh, here we go. All right, let's go back this way. All right, good morning, everybody. We're going to start. And Roderick, if you could admit everybody that's coming in. Welcome to the BCN and happy Thursday, April the 8th. Can you imagine how quick times have gone by already for us? I'd like to welcome and thank Katie Kirkpatrick, President and CEO of the Metro Atlanta Chamber, to be our keynote speaker this morning. She's going to talk about leadership lessons from the pandemic, adapting for long-term success. Katie, it's great to have you with us.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you. And I appreciate the invitation as well.
Absolutely. So to start off, we're going to go to rules of engagement, everyone, just to set you up for success. Jeff and Roderick are our co-hosts this morning. Our members and guests, all of you, please mute your mics, as you know. There'll be 4 different times when you'll be able to communicate with us and share by using the chat box. And that's to Roderick. So when you want to share a thank you moment and a success, just let Roderick know. When you want to ask a question of Katie, please let her know via Roderick, of course. And then when we have our member spotlights, both our returning and new, each of you know via my email and so on to unmute your mic during that time, and you'll have 2 minutes to share each. And then also for member news, events, and offers, anything that you have in that arena, we'll be able to do that. And then we've got our raffle. Our mission, as you all know, is to create a sense of community through building holistic relationships that benefit all of us in generating revenue, building lasting friendships, and sustaining strategic partnerships. Our value proposition, as you all know, and those of you that are guests that are here this morning, strategic business developments, building partnerships and alliances, professional development with our keynote speakers and with each of you, and then community engagement with the Atlanta Community Food Bank. And then our toolkit, how we do that and how we make that happen for you is through our roundtable forums. And then when we get back to face-to-face, which last time was last March when we had George McCarrow, we'll probably be back face-to-face, we're hoping by somewhere between July, August, and September. So we'll keep you definitely up to date on that. Our Ambassador Advocate Program is your monthly pipeline meetings with me, 30 minutes to help you move things forward. The website profiles and offers that feature you. All of you are doing a terrific job with your profiles. Yes, people go to them, and it's been wonderful. They're your mini website. Member news and events and resource sharing. Our monthly process for the Advocate Program leads to, of course, the warm referral program. So this is a 30-minute strategic business development pipeline. We spend 15 minutes in between your pipelines, and then we focus on your value proposition, your ideal client, best referral for you, and then what your offer is. And then we stay connected so that things move forward and you're able to enjoy your membership. We build friendships that last for a lifetime, and we build trust, and that's the most important thing. We'd like to thank our committee. First, I'd like to thank our founder and president, Jeff Chernoff, his wife, Ann, our executive administrator, Fred Broder, and Buddy. We can't do what we do without our team and without all of you. So thank you again. And then we'd like to thank our volunteer steering committee, Dave Pierce and Mike Feely with Procom, Tricia Malloy working with Wisdom, Amy Henkel and Roger Knipp with Mythos Media, Duffy Dixon Media, Duffy Dixon President, and the MP Group, Roderick Ricks, Director of Sales. For the calendar, we've got a great lineup. In addition to having Katie with us this morning, we have Gail Evans, May 13th, Kyle Wade, the President and CEO of the food bank. Now, Gail was the former Executive Vice President of CNN. She's written 2 tremendous books, and this will be a fireside chat. July 8th will be similar to that with Chris Clark, the CEO and President of the Georgia Chamber. And then we've got Juanita Powell-Baranco. We're very excited. Juanita, thank you again. This will be a fireside chat focusing on business, community, and diversity. And then William Pate, the President and CEO of the ACVB. This will be with him, a fireside chat on the hospitality, hotel side of things, and tourism. In October, we will have a fireside chat with the Atlanta Hawks. And then in November, we're very close to announcing a restaurant panel. Thank you moments, successes. If all of you, we can have a few of these. Would love if you would type into the chat that you'd like to share a thank you or a success with your fellow member.
Well, as they come in, I would like to thank a couple people. I would like to thank Tricia Malloy, Aaron Wynn, Mike Feely for coming by the office and completing their podcast. We were able to get Aaron's produced yesterday, and Trisha's a little while back, and we're working on Mike's now. So thank you guys so much for coming by to complete your podcast.
And you do this now on an ongoing basis every twice a month or once a month, Roderick?
With the podcast, I have a calendar. You just get your time on there, and then we'll do that. MP Group Presents is every 2 weeks, every other Tuesday.
Wonderful. Very much appreciated. And anyone else in the group that would like to share a thank you or a success story?
We have John Parker.
Hello, everybody.
Hello,
I'd like to thank, first of all, Deborah for introducing me to Matt Kimbrough, who runs the Good Game. And Matt introduced me to Catherine Smith, who works for Delaware North, and she runs a tourist park. She's having a bad week, I'll tell you that. But anyway, I'd like to thank you. I've signed an agreement actually with Delaware North, which I'm really happy about. It could be big.
Congratulations, John, for your
Thank you, Deborah.
perseverance.
Next, we have Russ Hall.
Russ?
Had to get myself unmuted. Aaron Wynn isn't on the call, but I connected Aaron up with one of my clients. He's established a positive relationship with her and has gotten her a couple of employees so far. She's pretty happy with it. Me too.
Thank you, Russ. That's great news.
Great, Russ. Next, we have Needy.
Needy?
Hi, thank you, Roderick. I'd like to thank Duffy Dixon. She has managed to do the videography for most of my events. And if I could, I would just have her full-time managing all my events. She is amazing. And she's done some great editing as well, along with these videos. And the second person I'd like to thank is Amy Henkel. I signed up for her monthly website updating services, and I can't tell you how happy I am. They've been doing an amazing job keeping everything updated. So thank you.
Awesome.
Outstanding.
Next, we have Stephanie Graham.
Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to share that I was recently appointed as one of Fulton County's probate court administrators. I'm the newest and the youngest, and what that means is when families come forward before the judge without being able to agree on the settlement, I will now manage those estates for them. They have an extreme backlog, and I'm happy to do it for the county.
Fabulous, Stephanie. That's a great member news to share. Any thank you moments, since this is during thank you moments?
I am still connecting and building.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yes.
That's an
David
outstanding.
and I had a great chat about 3 weeks ago. He gave me a lot of information. I'm reading his book and his wife's book now.
Wonderful. Any other thank you moments and successes before we move on, Roderick?
Yes, we have Juan Reyes.
Yes, I'd like to thank Mike Philly with Procom for introducing me to Gutter South. We onboarded them as a new contractor for us, and he will be doing our gutter work. So thank you, Mike Philly.
Wow. Fabulous one.
Nice. The last one we have in there is Dr. Ed Muscallin.
Hey there, everybody. I also wanted to thank Mike Feely because through Deborah Schwartz-Griffin, Mike has introduced me to a wonderful man who's a kinesiologist that works with physical therapy. And me being a chiropractor, that's something that we may be able to do some work together. So we're looking forward to developing that. Nice to see you all this morning.
Nice to see you, Ed. Thank you.
I apologize. That wasn't the last one, David Taylor.
We only have one more time for one more. That's
Yeah,
it.
it's okay. I'll be quick. I had a great experience with appliance care at Georgia. Reuven and Alexi did an incredible job for us. Came out quickly, handled more than we actually thought we needed handled, and did it in an incredibly cost-effective and professional way. If you need anything fixed in your house, use them.
Fabulous, David. Thank you. Katie, we're now going to go to you, and I want to make sure that we are recording again.
Well, it looks like you're recording, but can I say congratulations? What a way to start a meeting. That was fantastic to listen to, and certainly gives me a little pep in my step as I move through the day. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to listen. That was wonderful.
Well, I'm going to do a little intro for you, Katie. So first of all, thank you for being our speaker this morning. Katie's topic is leadership lessons from the pandemic, adapting for long-term success. And she's going to cover taking care of people, taking care of community, and taking care of business. These will be posted, as will Katie's entire talk, on the BCN Zoom on our website. So under the invite for Katie, you'll see a link and you'll see the YouTube for you to replay it. Katie currently serves as the president and CEO of the Metro Atlanta Chamber. Previously, she was the Chief Policy Officer and served as a link between the Metro Atlanta business community and local and national governments. She currently serves on the Grace Commission, which is a vice chair, and she's vice chair for the Metropolitan North Georgia Water Planning District. And she's past board chair for the Institute for Georgia Environmental Leadership. She's also a member of the board of directors for the Atlanta Track Club, Central Atlanta Progress, and executive committee of Learn for Life. She's a proud Leadership Atlanta alumni, member of the Rotary Club of Atlanta, an International Women's Forum, and the Georgia Freight and Logistics Commission. And as a graduate of Auburn University, Kirkpatrick is registered as a professional engineer and a member of the school's 100+ Women Strong group of successful female engineering alumni. Katie is a longtime athlete and her drive to achieve and to succeed drives the way for all that she does in her life. She's a swimmer and an athlete as a swimmer, and as it has a love for baseball, believes that great teams and the support of them make the difference in an organization. This is how Katie leads the Metro Atlanta Chamber, recognizing their team and all that they bring. It's with great pleasure I introduce to you Katie Kirkpatrick, and everyone, if you would, put the speaker view on in the upper right-hand corner so that you could see Katie in full screen. Katie?
Well, Deborah, I always sit and I listen to those intros and I'm like, that's not me. So I still feel like I'm starting my first job. I don't know if anybody else ever feels that way, but I certainly want to thank you all for the opportunity to speak. And I love hearing from businesses, especially businesses that are growing. And hearing your network, I think, was fabulous for me to listen to. And Deborah, you and I had a conversation yesterday, and I was learning more about BCN. Certainly was impressed by the Consumer Choice Awards, which I think are foundational in recognizing that customer service excellence piece. And so I want to congratulate all of you for being part of an organization that is reflecting what you do on a daily basis. So just want to say thank you. And maybe I'll start, most of you probably know this. The Metro Atlanta Chamber is 160+ years young. So we are just a new little organization here in the community that is guided by a number of strategic pillars, grow, advocate, and promote. And so obviously with grow, it's all about what you all are doing on a daily basis, is helping companies to not just survive the pandemic, but to thrive afterwards. We are a job creation engine. That's the way I like to talk about our organization, which is much more focused on kind of large scale community growth. And we are focused on the 29 counties here in Metro Atlanta. I actually just finished talking with some folks in our international business community. And so we certainly have a focus on international trade as well, and helping small to medium-sized businesses grow their export businesses as well. So if you ever have an interest in that, it's been a very successful program for us. And much like Deborah is doing for all of you, we thrive on creating connections and convening people. And we know that that is the way, and that is the success for our companies to grow. And it's also that intangible piece for entrepreneurs as they're getting their business off the ground. So I think Stephanie mentioned that I have a background in advocacy. So I spent a number of years here at the Metro Atlanta Chamber doing advocacy. That is critically important when we're thinking about having a strong business climate by which all of you can thrive. And we focus on a number of issues, anything from regulatory and tax to infrastructure. So somebody reminded me the other day, don't forget that we had a bridge burn here in Atlanta, how that seems like so far ago, but yet we rebounded and we built a bridge in an extraordinary amount of time and had our community back linked together. We also work on education and workforce, making sure that we have that talent that fills the jobs that you are creating. And then last, of course, is promote. Someone has to go out and tell the story about Metro Atlanta and why this is a great place to live, work, and play. But in addition to that piece, it's telling the stories of the Atlantans and the businesses that are here. And one of the critical pieces too, and this is the fun part for me, is Atlanta Sports Council is another pivotal piece. So when you see the Super Bowl, or you see the college football championship, or the NCAA Final Four, which unfortunately was a victim to the pandemic last year, those things really set us up for a national and global stage. And it's a way for us to promote who we are, much like the Olympics did. So I'll close by this before we start talking about the pandemic. When I came into this role in June of 2020, so I'm about 10 months in now, I certainly knew that we needed to continue to focus on the grow, advocate, and promote, which is just the foundation of who we are. But I also layered into our work a focus on public health, racial equity, and economic recovery. And all three of those have not been resolved, but we're going to continue to focus our work on moving those forward. Those three pieces obviously impact the ability for businesses to thrive in our community. So let's talk about what we experienced through the pandemic. I feel like I'm preaching to a crowd that could probably teach me here, but I'll give you some reflections and then we'll talk about maybe learnings going forward. And then I'm happy to take any questions.
Katie, do you want me to share this slide that I'm showing, or do you want to, or not?
Not yet, no. We can throw that up toward the end.
Sounds good.
I just wanted to say, I think all of us know this simple phrase that none of us were prepared for a pandemic. I can even speak on a company level with somebody that might employ 540,000 people. They were prepared for H1N1 or a flu, but no one really had understood how to respond to a global pandemic. There was initial confusion in the community. What was an essential worker? What did that look like from state to city to global? And so that was a troubling kind of start to figuring out how we work through the pandemic. And then the other piece was remote work policies. I think we all now are at the point where we have Zoom fatigue. But quite honestly, we didn't know as companies how to pivot to that, nor did we have the resources in place for our employees to move quickly and adeptly to work efficiently in our home. And quite honestly, don't forget scheduling either. That was also a challenging piece as people were navigating having children at home, right? This new technology piece. So it was an extraordinary time if you think back to where we were just 1 year ago. And so Stephanie, you can feel free to pop up my slide now. But when we have reflected back and I reflect back and I have been listening to leaders, we've been talking to them about every 3 months getting their insights. We've convened about 120, all sizes, all industries, listening to them. There are a couple of themes that I think are going to be carried forward from the pandemic. And it gets into this taking care of people, taking care of community, and taking care of business. And Stephanie, I think that's the slide that you may have. So
and Katie, it's Deborah. You keep
Deborah, what did I say?
Stephanie, that's okay.
Somehow that is stuck in my head. My apologies, Deborah. If you'd like to share that, feel free.
So do you want me to go ahead and show this slide? I have it up now. You got it?
That'd be great. I don't know if folks can see it. I see Roderick shaking his head, but I'll talk because
Deborah, stop your share and then reshare it.
Okay, let's see. It's interesting. It's not my share. You got it now?
No, but I'm happy to talk, Deborah, while you try and pop that up. And we can also share this afterwards as well. But you know, the themes of taking care of people, community, and business, I think are important. So when we think about taking care of people, I personally, as a leader, now recognize how important mental health and personal well-being are. And so through the last year, I think as leaders, we all recognize that now that's part of how we take care of our employees and their families. And that requires an increase in communication. We as a company, and I know I've heard this from others also, looking at your mental health resources that you may be able to provide to your employees, so changing benefits. And then also thinking about the multi-generational household that we now have seen really rise over the last year, and how do we as employers really pay attention to that household dynamic and support what our employees are juggling at home. I think another piece is employee engagement. is how do we keep folks engaged in that virtual environment as we move back into hybrid environment and possibly that return to office? You know, that is another, like we've had one titanic shift a year ago. Now we're about to go through another one. And how do we keep engagement, you know, top of mind? I will share with you, I just instituted following city groups lead. We now have no camera Fridays. And so we have encouraged all of our employees to, you know, if you need to use Teams or Zoom or Blue Jeans or any of these platforms, that's fine, but just ask everybody to turn their camera off. And it gives everybody that ability, I think, to refresh a little bit or even convert to that old school thing called a conference call. Not a bad idea sometimes. And then last is really inclusion and belonging. If we think back over the last year, certainly with the social justice movement that we witnessed really elevated last summer. And then I just finished, before getting on this call, a courageous conversation with our Asian American community, the AAPI. That inclusion and belonging is super important to stay top of mind and at that leadership level. And so continuing to make sure it's a business imperative for me, I think is super important and a lesson that I'm going to carry forward. So thinking about community, that is the next piece. And that really gets into something we noted early on, right? We're not going to get back to full business until we have our community feeling safe to engage in the workplace or in retail or in restaurants or in concerts or in community settings. And so we've been very active in sharing information about COVID still, but also really providing education and awareness around vaccines. And we know that vaccine confidence remains a concern. Notice I did not say hesitancy. This is a vaccine confidence issue. And we need to recognize and lead with empathy on this piece while really trying to drive people to get vaccinated, to get us back to work. The last thing I'll say on community is small business support. We saw that the biggest and most negatively impacted group were small businesses through the pandemic. And so we need to continue to understand why small businesses are the backbone of our business community, and we need to invest in those companies. I know that we've been involved with a fund called Restore ATL, which to this date has granted about $360,000 in business grants. But you all know through PPP and lots of other programs that are in the community, the health and wellness of our small businesses is critical. And we can't lose sight of that when we come out of the pandemic. Last, taking care of business, that's really teasing off of the small business piece. I think everybody remembers the panic over toilet paper back a year ago. That was not a supply chain and logistics issue. That really was supply chain and logistics, right? Our supply chain was not built to meet that high residential demand. It was built for commercial and residential. And it's just a great reminder that going forward, we have to be innovative in our supply chain and logistics decisions, so that when we have these crisis moments, that our businesses aren't interrupted. I think the second piece is cybersecurity and technology. We just saw Deborah work diligently to share her screen. I like to say that technology now is our new traffic problem. I had to reboot this morning because my camera wouldn't work. These are the things now that we have to deal with. And I think it's very important to think about it even from the tangible perspective. Are we giving our employees the right tools to work in this new environment? So that's everything from, the right computer, making sure they have 2 chargers instead of 1. Do they have double screens? There are all of these things that we got used to at work. One of them for me was printer cartridges from my home computer, right? It's these small things that really allow an employee to be more flexible in their efficiency. And then last, of course, is racial equity. And then I'm happy to open up for questions. Thinking back to last summer, quite honestly, what we've witnessed in March here in Atlanta with our AAPI community is really thinking about how the business community can play a role in dismantling systemic racism. Those obstacles are real and they continue even without a pandemic, and we have a role to play. And we recently launched an action plan called the ATL Action for Racial Equity. And I'd be happy to take questions on that as well. So Deborah, I
Yes.
think I'm right at 11:27.
Yeah.
I'm happy to take any questions from the group.
Absolutely. First of all, thank you for this very topical and relevant talk, and it touches all of us from a business and personal standpoint. I know that from an election voting rights questions, you want to do that in another format, but Roderick, if you can look and see if anyone has questions, the first 3 people that ask questions to Katie will have an opportunity to win our gift card through our raffle today. So first 3 people.
Maybe while the questions are popping into your queue.
Here's the takeaways. Can you see the takeaways?
You had them up for a moment.
Needy has a question. Needy has a question.
Needy?
Yeah, Katie, thank you so much. I'm glad to hear that even MAC is focusing in on racial equity and those very important social initiatives. So I know that, as a South Asian, many times when I'm out in public, I've been told, go back to your country or go back to your own home. So it is a real issue, and it's not something that we can just sweep under the rug, where a lot of folks keep saying that, just what's the big deal? Just shrug it off and don't pay attention to this. I agree to some of that, but I'm just very, very glad to hear, Katie, that MAC is also focusing in on this area. And if there's anything that I can do to help MAC, I'll be glad to.
Well, Needy, I appreciate that comment. And I would take issue with someone saying that we need to sweep this under the rug or shrug our shoulders. It just continues to, I believe, illuminate for all of us the hard work we still have ahead of us, and that we have a number of friends and colleagues in our community that are hurting through this. And we as business leaders have a role. And I think that starts with, and I know many I heard from last summer, really had to learn active listening. I don't think that had been a skill that had been really kind of refined, and they had to learn active listening. And then putting words to action, I think, is very important. And so for the AAPI community, I do think this is a new conversation for business leaders. And it's one that literally, I'm literally came off a courageous conversation call with our staff and a number of speakers from the AAPI community. We were talking about this, and one of the points that really resonated with me was emotional labor. And that is a term that I'm going to have to go home and reflect on and think about the emotional labor that our community continues to carry forward, and how do we address that. And then the last piece I'll share with you too, a takeaway. Y'all are getting me fresh off this conversation. A takeaway, and this resonates no matter what community you represent, is that the months, if you have AAPI month, I believe is coming up in May, that it can't be only about that month and that conversation, right? This has to be continuous, and it always has to be elevated. So I'll just leave you with that reflection, but thank you, Needy, and I'll call on you when we can use you.
Thank you, Katie. Roderick, is there another question for Katie?
Yes, we have Jackie Lithicum.
Hello, Jackie.
Good morning, Deborah, and good morning, Katie. Thank you so much for this conversation and leading this effort. One of the questions I have as a business owner, what can I do to show support to the AAPI community? And what forums are there out there for me to show my support and actively do something to demonstrate to the community that we do have support and love for our AAPI community and all of our other groups, our Latinos who I know are under fire. We still are facing things from the BLM movement. What are some things that we can show that support?
What a great question. I always am hesitant to answer the question because I don't think I'm reflective of the communities that need the voice. So when I think about that, then I do have a role as a leader to make sure that I provide that opportunity and that forum for voices to be heard. I'm not sure I can give the perfect answer on AAPI, but I will tell you some simple things that I've been doing as a leader. First and foremost is when I participate in a public panel, or we have speaker panels here at the chamber, I'm very intentional to ensure that it is diverse, that we have everyone, a representation that looks like what Atlanta is. And when I say Atlanta, I think Metro Atlanta, by the way, because we're 29 counties. And I will decline speaking engagements if I don't believe that the panel is diverse or representative. So that's a very simple way of lifting voices and making sure that they're part of the conversation. I think the second piece as a business leader is when we form tables, and I'm a big believer in convening and collaborating, right? That there's an intentionality that when you're talking about an issue or recruiting a company or, thinking about how we promote Atlanta, there has to be an intentionality to make sure that it is reflective of the community and that voices are heard. The last piece I would share with you is on AAPI. I'm at the beginning of my learning journey. Just going to be very upfront on that. But one of and I'll have to see if I can drop it in the chat. There is a group, I believe, called the Creative Folks that is a leading voice for the AAPI community. I'll see if I can find that before we end our conversation, that I would encourage you to connect with.
Thank you, Katie. And we have time for one more question because we want to stay in tow with our spotlights are returning and new. Is there one more question, Roderick?
Yes, the last question will be, the third question is from Stephanie Graham.
It'll be last question.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Katie, thank you for what you shared. I think the lessons were very important and valuable, but I wanted to know if you guys have been considering some solutions regarding the mental health and elder abuse, because it has been on the rise due to the pandemic. I now receive a call at least once a week regarding elder abuse, and there's nothing I can do about it. Do you have some solutions?
So you mentioned elder abuse, and the first piece was
mental health.
Mental health. So let me do elder abuse first. We as an organization have not tackled elder abuse. I certainly recognize the data that exists that shows the pandemic. We knew we had elder abuse problems before the pandemic hit, as well as all kinds of abuse, and those numbers have skyrocketed just because of that lack of connection in the community. I would, on elder abuse, lean toward the Attorney General for the state of Georgia. I believe has been doing significant work in the elder abuse area. I'm just not well-spoken or well-versed on that. So to be straight on that one. On mental health, this one is really interesting to me and one that I leaned into very early on. I think I mentioned in my remarks, one of the things that I chose to do, every fall, most companies go through that benefit review. And when we were going through the benefit review, was very intentional to tell our team that I wanted to elevate our mental health resources. And so we now have a greater allowance for counseling under our policy. We also increased the number of sick days that our employees can take, and have been pretty intensive on messaging that a sick day isn't when you have the flu. A sick day is also when you're just not feeling yourself, or you're feeling disconnected and you need to recharge. Or I use the example today with a staff member that you may feel disconnected from your family because you're working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you need to take a day off. It's not vacation. It's because you need to go reconnect with the most important thing in your life, which is your family. And so we've really done it through benefits. I've also done it by bringing in, I don't know if anyone knows Cascade United Methodist Church and Pastor K, as I call him. Pastor K, I brought him in and had him speak to our team, not in a religious context, but really talking about gratitude and how to balance the heaviness of the world with gratitude in the work that you do and with your home and with your family. And those were some, I guess, tangible ways that I would tell you. And I got great feedback from our team because it allowed them a moment to breathe, reflect, and also hear inspiration that many have, come back to me and said that was really good for them to kind of reframe the piece. And then just the last piece, and I've been intentional here as well, is having it as top of mind in all of our employee conversations. I do a lot of one-on-ones, no matter if you're a direct report with me or not. I have a one-on-one with almost every member of our team as a check-in. How are you doing? I don't need to know about your work. How are you? And maybe, I think I said last several times, the last piece is I have begun leading my conversations with that question. So Stephanie, if you and I were to connect for a business call, my first question to you would be, how are you? I think it's a simple check-in sometimes that makes people understand that you're really cognizant that this world is much more than just business.
Katie, with that, which is excellent, we're going to end your time with us. However, we want you to stay with us, and we want to first thank you for this. This was outstanding on behalf of the organization and the members and our guests today. And I'm very proud to be a member of the Chamber for the last 6 years and for many years to come. A couple things we want to, as from us to you, from the BCN and our members, we'd like to give you 2 gifts. Can you see me, Katie?
I can, absolutely. Okay. Thank you so much.
We'd like to give you a $100 entertainment pass from Stars and Strikes Family Entertainment Centers. There are 15 of them, and in Atlanta we have 7. And so I'm going to connect you. She was not able to be with us today, but Lisa Angelis. Lisa is the corporate sales manager for Stars and Strikes. She's been with them 14 years, and I will connect you guys via email, and then she'll reach out to you, and then I'll send you the $100 entertainment pass. And that is good for 2 hours of bowling, 1 lane, shoe rental, a pitcher of soft drink, 1 large topping. And they've been a 4-year member with the BCN. We're very thankful. So that is 1 gift for you. And then the other that we give to our keynote speakers comes from our restaurant member, Good Game at the Battery. Have you heard of Good Game?
I've been there.
Okay. Oh, well, great. Well, Matt Kimbrough is with us. Matt is the general manager of Good Game at the Battery, partnered with Topgolf, and he's also the general manager of the Roxy at the Battery. Excellent. So you receive from us via Good Game $50 gift certificate, and this will be good for food and beverage. And we just want to say a couple things. One more, what's the best way to connect with you? I'm sure our members will want to connect and reach out if they have further questions, or they want to look at maybe joining the Metro Atlanta Chamber or whatever it might be. What's the best way to connect with you?
I am dropping my email in the chat for you.
Okay, great. Okay. All righty. And Katie, I'll be in touch after, and please stay with us because I think you'll like this segment. This is our spotlights.
I'm available to stay for about 5 more minutes, but
okay.
Deborah, thank you so much for everyone on the call. I am a working mother, so I have teenage boys. So the 2 gifts will be put to good use, both bowling and at the Battery. So thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. And thank you very much, Katie. And next, we'd like to recognize and start with our spotlights. We have 3 today. One is a returning member of 3 years. That's Dr. Jay Empel and his son, Andrew Empel. We're going to hear from Jay. They own Vernon Woods Animal Hospital, Brookhaven Animal Hospital, and North Springs Animal Clinic. Jay, you'll have 2 minutes to share your value proposition, as it says here, ideal client referral, best referral partner, and member offer, and then we'll go to our 2 new members. Jay?
Can you hear me, Deb?
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm going to say a few things and read a few things, but it's been an honor to be a part of the BCN network. I've been a veterinarian for 51 years in the Atlanta area. I went to University of Georgia to undergraduate and to Auburn to veterinary school. So I'll say to Katie, War Eagle. I have 2 kids that are veterinarian, Andy, which you mentioned, that went to University of Florida and then to Auburn, and a young daughter named Ivy, who went to University of Georgia for 8 years, who's now practicing in Houston. I have a daughter who's a nurse at Showa and a wife that's been a medical technologist. As Ann had mentioned, we have as Deb mentioned, we have 3 veterinary hospitals in Atlanta, 2 in Sandy Springs. Vernon Woods Animal Hospital started in 1973. North Spring started in 2002. In Brookhaven, we opened up in 2010. They're all full service animal hospitals. We're a full service hospital providing a full range of medical services, including internal medicine, dermatology, soft tissue, orthopedic and oral surgery, preventive dental care. We are digital x-rays for the mouth and for the body, ultrasound and laser treatment. We also offer quality pet boarding and professional grooming. We recommend that your pet have a complete physical exam every 6 months to a year to look for early signs of disease, along with vaccinations and annual screening for intestinal parasites and heartworms. We emphasize affordable blood screening panels to ensure your pet's health. We provide ourselves with personalized attention, and we're able to give we hope to give all of our clients. Although the majority of our clients are dogs and cats, patients are dogs and pets, we are able to take care of small animals such as ferrets, rabbits, gerbils, hamsters, and guinea pigs. We do all types of diagnostic testing. We do in-house blood work, radiographs. Most of that can be done and the answers given back to you within an hour or two. If it needs to be more extensive, then we basically send out the blood work and hope to get back to you within 24 hours to 48.
Hey, Jay.
Yes.
Jay, you've got 30 seconds left because we've got some more spotlights. So who's your ideal client, best referral, and then your member offer, please?
All right, our best referral partners are really anyone who has a pet who wants compassionate veterinary care. Our BCN member offer is we provide a 25% professional discount on your initial office visit. Please notify our staff that you are a BCN member when you make the appointment. We have a total of 60 employees, including 14 veterinarians working at our 3 hospitals. Please call for an appointment to meet our caring staff. If you have any questions, you can call me on my cell phone, and I will help you pick the right staff member, right hospital. My cell phone number is 404-441-4989. And I appreciate this time, and hopefully you'll give me a call and visit one of our hospitals.
Let me just reiterate, Jay, so that there's no misunderstanding, that you will be the main contact for everybody. So on the roster, it's your phone number. You'll be the main contact. Then you will connect them to whichever location and staff versus them calling the clinic directly.
They can do either one. If they want to just call the clinic, they can, and just tell them that they're a BCN member on the front end. And if they look at our website, you can actually register for an appointment online. But I'd prefer for your first time to call in and say you're a BCN member and it's your first visit.
Very good. Thank you very much, Jay. Next, we're going to go to Caesar. Caesar is the regional president for Atlanta Northwest with Nexterus. Caesar, if you could keep to 2 minutes only, your value proposition, ideal client, best referral partner, and member offer.
Timer is going, Deborah. Thank you, Deborah. As Deborah already stated, my name is Cesar Caceres, and I am the regional president, and we are Nexterus. Thank you, marketing people, for putting this speech together for me. Nexterus is a domestic and international supply chain and technologies firm. A lot of people ask, what is a supply chain? And because it's such a broad title. Talking about that great toilet paper shortage of 2020 that Katie mentioned earlier, that's what we help our clients avoid, adapt, and overcome. So for us, that means your company's freight, the moving of the freight, the warehousing of the freight, the technology that moves your freight. Nexterus helps the small to medium-sized company compete in the global market by giving them access to services that are normally beyond their pocketbook, normalizing costs, and auditing their supply chain environment at no cost to them. We are a 75-year-old company this month, and we hold the oldest property broker's license in the US. What does that mean for you? We are uniquely positioned to bring a combination of experience and updated technology that no other supply chain consultant firm out there can provide. Now, To the specific points, our ideal client is anyone that is moving a physical product that wants to lower their costs or increase their efficiencies. That can include, but is not limited to, manufacturing, retailers, and distributors. Best referral partners are manufacturing CPAs, lawyers, commercial bankers, and outsourced CEOs, CFOs, and COOs. We are currently offering a free supply chain audit to all BCN members, families, and friends. And if anybody wishes to talk with me, get a cup of coffee, or just do some networking in any way, I will put my contact info in the chat, and it is on my profile on the BCN page.
Excellent, Caesar, as well as Jay. And I would say, and I'm going to go to Jacqueline next, that as you all listen to everybody, even if this is not something you need, that doesn't mean that you don't know someone that would need a veterinarian or would need supply chain and freight. And coming up next is Jacqueline. Jacqueline is the owner of Rosewood Home Care. Jacqueline, you have 2 minutes. Thanks.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jacqueline Lenthicum with Rosewood Home Care. Rosewood Home Care is a home care company serving the greater metro Atlanta area, and our focus is on those with memory issues. That includes dementia, Alzheimer's, and it can also include Parkinson's, Lewy body, and vascular dementia. Our focus on that is because many of our seniors need help. We are seeing seniors being diagnosed with dementia at earlier and earlier ages. What makes Rosewood different? Yes, we provide personal care, which is hygiene, meal preparation, mobility. We provide companionship. But the other thing that we provide, we have staff that are trained on working with those with memory care issues. And what we can do, we can train the family on how to live and relate to those with those issues. Right now, there is no cure for dementia or Alzheimer's, but there is care, and Rosewood Home Care can be that option for you, especially for those that would like to remain home. If you are in a facility, we can work very closely, giving that one-on-one attention to those in a facility. Our best referral partners are geriatric case managers, those that work in nursing facilities or memory care facilities, trust officers, and those that deal with the senior community. For our members, we can offer a free assessment. Our assessment, we can help you determine whether or not a facility is best or if home care is the best. We work best with couples where one may have issues with memory and the other just may be overwhelmed or have their own health issues. How to best reach out to us at Rosewood Home Care? Feel free to give me a call and I'll drop my info in the chat. A call or an email is best. Thank you so much.
Jacqueline, excellent. And I would say to the three of you that it's a pleasure to have you with us, and returning Jay and Andrew for the 3rd year, and Caesar and Jacqueline for joining for your first time. And of course, your BCN profile pages that we work so hard on and your one-pagers will be also the best way for our members to also reach out to you and learn about you before they have a call with you. So thank you, everybody, on that. We're going to go now to our guests. We've got 4 guests with us. So we're first going to start with Cassandra Maddox. She is the president and owner of Future Days Bookkeeping. And Cassandra, if you just want to take 30 seconds to share your value.
Yes, my name is Cassandra Maddox, and I'm the owner of Future Days Bookkeeping, and I love helping small businesses with their bookkeeping. I work collaboratively with owners to really track the things that matter most to them. A good referral for me is any small business that is feeling overwhelmed with their bookkeeping or is scaling and ready to delegate some of those different parts of their business. Referral partners is anybody that works directly with small businesses. So again, my name is Cassandra Maddox and I'm with Future Days Bookkeeping.
Thank you very much, Cassandra. Welcome and great to have you with us. And thanks to Natasha for connecting us.
Yes, thank you.
Naomi and James Gasson, the co-owners of Georgia Roof Advisors. Just 30 seconds about your value.
Morning, everybody. Naomi from Georgia Roof Advisors. We do residential and commercial roof inspections, replacements, and repairs. Our value proposition is that we are Master Elite by GAF, which is the largest shingle manufacturer in the world. And therefore, our warranties are actually backed by this Fortune 500 company. Thanks ever so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And thank you for BNI, Barrett Parkway, for connecting us and the team. Next, we've got Muscle Performance Science, Bronson Walters. Bronson, you're the director and KT guru. If you can just share under 30 seconds your value proposition.
Sure. Thanks for having us today, Deborah. And I'd like to thank Mike Feely for the introduction with you with BCN. MPS and Life Hope Physical Therapy have recently joined together where we operate on a faith-based platform, Life Hope Ministries, and are currently launching a 14,000 square foot all treatment facility that includes physical therapy, kinesiology, sports performance, and alternative care treatment. The brand of that 14,000 square foot facility will be called Neurokinetics. So watch out for that. We'll have that coming up probably within the next month, depending on construction. And the facility is located in off of Old Milton in Alpharetta. And we have a different approach of fixing the entire body, not just what you come in with your complaint. With an ankle, for instance, we assess everything and kind of clean up everything as we go along. So I look forward to being back again. Thanks for having us, Deborah.
And lastly, and certainly just as important, is Michael Lank. Michael Lank is the Lank Group, and thanks to Amy Kelly for connecting us. Michael?
Thank you, Deborah. Again, my name's Michael Lank, and my company's the Lank Group. I'm a group health insurance broker. And the value I bring is lowering my clients' group health insurance costs by 20 to 40% without increasing the employee deductibles, co-pays, or out-of-pocket maximums. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. And again, a pleasure to have all of you with us, our guests today. Next, we've got thanking, again, all of you throughout the year for your fellowship, your leadership, your engagement, and loyalty in the BCN. And these are just slides that shows from January straight through 2020, how many of you have renewed and have been with us. So we, again, are thankful. We wanted to showcase the BCN Warm Referral Program because you hear intermittently through pipelines and today how members hear, how prospective members hear about us, and it's because of all of you. So those of you that take the time and make the effort to look at the list and go, who are we missing? What company could we have that would help my business or would help your business? So we want to thank each of you through this Warm Referral Program. And so how that happens is you share the value proposition of the BCN. You qualify the prospect. You let us know if you think it would be a good fit. You send a warm referral and you connect us to them. And then if the company joins, then you as that member that is engaged receives a restaurant gift card. Last year, it was very much with Davios and Stars and Strikes. This year, it's Stars and Strikes, Good Game, and Nikado. And we'd like to thank each of you that are listed here who identified a prospect, and from that, in meeting with me or Fred or Buddy, they joined and became a member. And a lot happens between the time that you connect us and the time they join. So we want to say thank you to each of you as listed here for this. And next we are going to go to member news and events. Since we've got 5 minutes left, I am going to make an announcement on behalf of a couple of our members. So if we can go back to the slide, member news, offers, and events. Roderick. There we go. Member news, offers, and events. There we go. So I'd like to announce that Wilson Tamala, Paul Davis, North Atlanta, who's a longtime Consumer's Choice Award winner and member, was just recognized, his whole team, as they were the office that won the Franchise of the Year for District 2. That's Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Alabama, Tennessee, and Mississippi, and are in the running for the National Cup. So that is just terrific. Wilson could not be with us today, so that's why I'm sharing. I'd also like to make an announcement on behalf of Needy. She shared with me, and I would love for her to post it in a press release, but she was just selected as the most successful businesswoman to watch in 2021. So she was part of the most successful business women to watch in 2021. And that was featured, and that will be featured in the upcoming issue of CIO magazine. So mazel tov to you, as well as Wilson. And Stephanie, you shared earlier your appointment as the administrator probate for Fulton County. Congratulations to you. I know that Ruben, our Ruben with Appliance Care, was in the running to be recognized as the best under 40 for his category in his industry. Ruben, do you know if you have won, or is it still being decided? Okay, we don't know. We'll pass on that. And in the last 3 minutes that we have, if we can take 30 seconds with Ben, if you'd like to do an update, Ben, with the Atlanta Community Food Bank, and then 30 seconds, Justin, for you to share.
Sure. Real quick, I just wanted to mention we have the Legal Food Frenzy. It's our 10th year of this event. It's for law firms and legal departments. It's a 2-week friendly fundraising competition that benefits your local food bank. It is from April 19th to the 30th. We also have our full course classic golf tournament coming up on May 4th at Setting Down Creek Golf Club. There are still sponsorship opportunities and foursomes still available. And while we are not yet open back up for volunteering at the food bank, we do have some upcoming outdoor distributions, one on April 23rd at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, one on May 15th in Spalding County, and then one on June 24th in Fayetteville.
So Ben, real quick, since I have Justin share his update. What's the best way to reach out to you and talk with you about these things? Because that was a lot of information, and everyone is still trying to get to know the food bank. And I would just encourage everybody, it's very important when we have an organization that is a nonprofit with us to learn more and to see how you can get involved, and vice versa. So Ben and Cassandra and Lacey, as well as Kyle, who's our speaker coming up in June, are very committed to making this membership for them as successful as it is for you. So Ben, the best way for everyone to reach you?
Absolutely. On our BCN member page, you can find my contact information. If any of these things interest you, please shoot me an email, and I'm happy to talk about any of these things.
Thank you. And Justin, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so most importantly, how can folks get take advantage of and get involved with the Hawks this year? And then are you just confirming that we're excited to have you guys as a fireside chat speaker in October?
Yep, we will be doing that for October, and for the rest of you guys, as we head down the stretch of the regular season here, we're deep in the hunt for the playoffs down at State Farm Arena, and we're slowly ramping up capacity as we head towards the end of the season and playoffs. So if anyone's interested and feels safe about coming out the rest of the season, feel free to connect with me. I'll drop my email information, and it's also on my BCN contact page. And for anyone who's waiting on next season, we'll have ample opportunities for you guys in terms of memberships, group nights, suite rentals. So feel free to connect with me, and I can share details about that. But appreciate the opportunity, and thanks for inviting me.
So just to make sure, real quick, you are going to be people will be able to go to games between now and October, or not until October?
Yeah, so we're at a limited capacity right now, about 3,500 people, about 20%. So there will be some opportunities if anyone is interested to come out the rest of the season now through May. But we are expecting to be back at full capacity starting in October.
And okay, so they will reach out to you in terms of affordability. You're offering everything from 2 tickets all the way to whatever anyone wants to do. And like with the food bank, partnering is really key. So cause-related marketing and partnering on all levels is very important to the BCN. So thank you both. And Roderick, I think we've come to a close. I want to thank everybody. The survey, we've already done the member raffle. The survey buddy will send out at the end of the day. There'll just be 2 questions. So let us know how we did today. And everyone, thank you very much on behalf of the team. We really appreciate it. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Roderick, can you see me?
Yes, I can see you.
Okay,
I'm putting everyone else in the waiting room.
okay, great. I'm not sure what happened in me being able to not see everybody because I started out seeing everybody. And
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what happened. I knew we didn't see the slides, and I was texting.
That's what I mean. On my computer, I saw my
Mhm.
slides and it was a shared
Yeah.
screen. In other words,
Yeah.
I had Katie in my right corner, and
Mhm.
so I have no idea why that happened.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's good you sent me the PowerPoint like you did yesterday, so I could go in and try to freestyle it. The only problem,
No, really.
only problem is I can't see the chat though when I share my screen. That's the only problem.
Right. Well, that's okay. I mean, listen, I couldn't see anybody other than at the beginning.
Mhm.
So there's got to be a little nuance there. I want to go over that. So let me, I'm going to come out of this and then link back on so we can do our debrief, okay?
Coming out, so you're about to close the meeting altogether?
Well, I'm trying to figure out how to get, let me do this. I am still trying to figure out why I can't see anybody.
Do the speaker, the view at the top right.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, and I wish you were here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come out of it and then I'm gonna have to come out of it.
If we come out of it, Jeff and Fred, then we'll have to re-click that link if she closes meeting for all.
Right.
Okay, are we going to use the link that we had for the debrief? I mean,
No, we're gonna use this link. We use this link.
Yeah.
I just need to close out of it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm glad
We'll
to
come-
see you guys. I can see you, Fred, and I can, I'm not sure why this is happening, but we'll see. Okay. So I want to pull, let me see something here. I've got that post attendee Zoom. And I need to close out on the recording. Post attendee Zoom. Let's see. All right. Meet now, OneDrive. So obviously I'm still on, Roderick.
Yeah, Jeff is in the waiting room. He
There we
can't.
go. There we go. Okay, I'm good.
You want me to let Jeff back in?
Yes, so I'll let Jeff back in. Craig will remove.
Justin can remove, yeah.
And we'll remove. I'm hoping that Justin was in it, right? Justin Facilia was in it.
I wrote his name down. I was able to chicken scratch everybody real fast.
Okay.
It was 43, 44 including myself.
Stop recording. Yes.